In this activity, we are given the area of several squares, then asked to determine the dimensions of the square. However, because we have squares, we know the lengths of all the sides are the same, and therefore for each square, the height will equal the width. Once we find the dimensions of each square, we will make a connection to the principal square root of a given number. So for part A, we're given a square with an area of 9 square feet, and therefore to find the dimensions, we're looking for a non-negative number times itself that's equal to 9. Or if we use the area formula, A equals S squared, where S is the length of a side, we're looking for the non-negative solution to the equation S squared equals 9. And because 3 squared is equal to 9, we know the dimensions of the square must be 3 feet by 3 feet. A 3 foot by 3 foot square has an area of 9 square feet. The idea of asking what non-negative number times itself equals a given value is the same idea behind the principal square root. For example, if we're asked to determine the principal square root of 9, we would use this square root symbol, which means principal square root, and then we enter 9 under the square root. To simplify this, we ask what non-negative number times itself is equal to positive 9. Well, we know 9 is equal to 3 squared, and therefore this simplifies to 1 factor of 3. The reason the square root of 9 is equal to 3 is because 3 squared equals 9. For B, we have an area of 1 square foot, so we're looking for a non-negative number times itself that's equal to 1, or the solution to the equation S squared equals 1, where S is non-negative. Well, 1 squared is equal to 1, and therefore we know our square is a 1 foot by 1 foot square. If we're asked to determine the square root of 1, again this symbol means the principal square root or positive square root. We're looking for a non-negative number times itself equal to 1, and because 1 is equal to 1 squared, the square root of 1 is 1. For C, we have an area of 81 square feet, so we're looking for a non-negative number times itself equal to 81, or the non-negative solution to S squared equals 81. Well, 9 squared equals 81, which means the square is a 9 foot by 9 foot square. If we're asked to determine the square root of 81, because 81 is equal to 9 times 9, the square root of 81 equals 1 factor of 9. The square root of 81 equals 9 because 9 squared equals 81. Let's look at 2 more examples on the next slide. Here the square has an area of 144 square feet, so again we're looking for a non-negative number times itself equal to 144, or the non-negative solution to S squared equals 144. Well, 12 squared is equal to 144, and therefore the dimensions of the square are 12 feet by 12 feet. If we're asked to determine the square root of 144, because 144 is equal to 12 squared, this is equal to 1 factor of 12. And now for our last example, we're given an area of 30 square feet, so we're looking for a non-negative number times itself equal to 30. This would also be the non-negative solution to S squared equals 30. Well, there's no whole number times itself equal to 30. Notice that 5 squared is equal to 25, and 6 squared is equal to 36. So the value of S is somewhere between 5 and 6, but we cannot determine the exact value from what we know so far. So let's go ahead and leave the question mark here, indicating we cannot determine the exact value right now. If we were asked to determine the square root of 30, because 5 squared equals 25, we know this value must be greater than 5, and because 6 squared equals 36, we know this value must also be less than 6. For right now, we'll go ahead and leave it at that. I hope you found this helpful.